Hey, what's up guys? It's Eric with Rig Log. We're doing Rig Log number 2 today with Pete Tatooles of Comfortably Floyd. We're going to check out his analog double pedal board rig, his practice rig for Comfortably Floyd. So check it out, it's pretty sweet.
This is a 2006 Fender American Standard Strat with a rosewood fretboard, modified with the David Gilmour DG-20 pickups, EMGs. These are the exact pickups we used on the Pulse Tour and on Momentary Lapse of Reason. Out of all the guitars I have, it's my favorite. It's a Swamp Ash body, and it's really, really heavy. And I brought it to a shop one time, and the owner of the shop's like, I asked him, well, I didn't like the stock pickups on it. And he's like, well, you should probably just get rid of it and get a whole new Strat and put vintage pickups in it. So I disagreed with him, and what I did is I put the David Gilmour EMG pickup set in with the stupid pearl pickguard, which I don't know why they do that, but I like it. I'm proud of it, and I proudly display it. But it's got a slight modification to it, regular volume now, but this is a mid-scoop tone stack. So if it's all the way off, just basically a standard Strat. If you turn it all the way up, you basically scoop the mid. I don't really use it as much. David Gilmour didn't use it as much. This is where the magic occurs on this guitar, is in the presence switch. So what it does is it actually adds boost and presence to the signal. So I like to use that during solos in different portions of the parts where I want to have a little bit hotter humbucker sound. Standard 5 switch. What's interesting is that I use the low cut tremolo arm, which I like for just the way it fits in my hand. I can play and use the tremolo. David Gilmour uses the same tremolo. As you can see, I use only 3 springs instead of 5 on the tremolo, and I leave the cavity open. And it's just a rosewood neck. There's really nothing else special about it other than the signature here is Noah Hunt, who is the singer of Kenny Wayne Shepherd's band. And right here used to be Kenny Wayne Shepherd's signature, although it rubbed off as I was playing, so maybe it'll rub off on my playing too, you know. But anyway, that's my number 1, and it's really a nice guitar. And we all find instruments that we like and have our favorites, and this happens to be mine. Well, anyway, this is a really interesting rig setup. I'm a really fanatic for analog stomp boxes, but using all the real pedals to play a live flight show is difficult. So I've always had these wonderful stomp boxes in my collection and never really take them out on the road when we play, but I figured since I do have them, I'd do justice and put them on pedal boards together, at least for my own enjoyment at home, since I do play out of a digital Axe effects when we play live. Going forward, basically this is set up as a chain. So if you see the multi-effects units, like the electronic digital ones, they're a chain of effects, and they have to go in a certain order. So this particular pedal board is a series of pedals in order, and when they're not turned on, they're completely out of the loop. So board 1 is a drive board, and drive board is all the overdrives and distortions that we have. So basically, the first pedal in the chain is the fuzz. It's a Skreddy Lunar Module. It's a fuzz tone which was used by David Gilmour on all the albums up until probably Animals. The tuner is just a standard TU2, which is bypassed from the signal chain when I want to tune. This wah is special. The buffer was ripped out, and it has a toggle switch here where I can reverse the wah and use it for the seagull effects on echoes. Next in the chain then would be the compressor, which is usually always on. This is a Demeter Compulator, and followed by a Skreddy Pink Flesh, which is a pretty rare big muff. You can kind of hear the tone of the muff here. Anyway, and then behind everything is an overdrive pedal, which is a clone of the Color Sound Overdriver. So that's used to boost the muff and the fuzz. It can also be used as an overdrive by itself. The next board is all modulations, And the modulations are anything that's not distortion but kind of changes the sound wave. And I just basically choose one of the sound palettes. That's a chorus first, a small clone chorus by Electro Harmonics. That's used mostly on the wall and beyond. You have the Voodoo Labs Micro Vibe, which is the main modulation unit on the dark side of the moon. The Hartman Analog Flanger, which is a clone of the Electro Harmonics Electric Mistress Flanger, which is used mostly by David Gilmour in the late and mid-'80s on the wall and a lot of his solo work. This tremolo here is basically used for one sound only, and that's just for money. So you just kind of hear that. It's just a full tremolo, and it's used just for that accent. The phaser was the modulation used on Wish You Were Here album. That's an MXR Phase 90. And then there's two different types of delays, a digital and an analog delay. The Binson Echorec clone emulates all the delays used for David Gilmour's delays prior to the wall. And then this is an Eventide, which is basically used afterward. You have a volume pedal, which is at the end of the chain. You can turn that on or off. It can go off out into two amplifiers. And then your amplifier of choice. A very simple Fender Blues Junior 15 watt, and it's perfect for the room. I consider amplifiers an instrument in and of themselves, so for larger venues I'll bring out a high watt. But as you can see, the tone stack is kind of, treble is kind of scooped, although I do kick up bass on it a little bit, and master volume and preamp volume are about unity gain. I don't really use the reverb, but it's a nice little amp for the room. So good luck to everybody with their rigs, whether you're going digital or analog or combination. Just make your sound and your tone the way you want it, and don't ever settle for something that doesn't sound right. Keep working at it and get it the way you want it to sound. There's a lot of things you can do. Cool. Thanks, Eric, for choosing me for your rig review number 2. Cool.